Welcome to Integrity Inspire, your daily dose of inspiration and motivation, featuring the bright and talented members of the Integrity Marketing Group family. Now, here's your host, Integrity co-founder and CEO, Brian W. Adams.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining today's Inspire podcast. I'm so excited about some of the big news that we got to share today. This is one of the largest announcements that we've ever made here at Integrity and some of the best people on the planet. And so I can't wait to get to that. But before we do, first of all, I want to send out our condolences to Tim McCoy and Shay McCoy and Neat Management and the entire Neat Management family. Tim McCoy's wife passed away this last week, and Mara McCoy just had a true love for her family, and just the loss there is, I know, just really difficult time for Tim and his son Shay and the entire family, their McCoy family, but also the Neat family. And so on behalf of all the Integrity partners and team, I want to send out our condolences to Neat Management and Tim McCoy and Shay McCoy for the loss of Mara McCoy. And I want you guys to know that you guys are in our thoughts and prayers, and really just want you to know that we're here for you for anything. And I just encourage any of the other partners and team members to certainly keep Tim and Shay and the rest of the Neat family in your thoughts and prayers this week as well. In addition, this week we're going to be sharing, we did so much in 2021, and it's amazing that you look up and we're almost done with January of 2022. And I want to make sure that we take a moment to reflect on just some of the incredible things that we've been working on and some of the things that we've accomplished as a team here at Integrity. And so this week we're going to be sharing a highlight reel from our annual partner meeting that we had here in Dallas with all of our partners coming together at the end of last year. And it was an important time for us to come together and not only talk about where we began and where we are, but where we're going as a team. And just to really plan for not only 2022, but for the future going forward. And so we've got some big things planned, and we're incredibly grateful for everybody's hard work, everybody's dedication to making Integrity just what we are today. And last year we also made huge news with the Integrity Employee Ownership Plan, the Silver Lake announcement, but also our big showing in major industry conferences all around the country that were incredibly engaging. It was amazing to see all the familiar faces coming together and just the Integrity branding. And I can tell you right now that 2022 will be bigger than ever. And so we will also be sharing some of that information out with you guys, but want to make sure that we just take a moment to recognize all that we did in 2021. I think it's really important to have these kind of stones of remembrance, so to speak, where you have these times where you remember, reflect, and get ready for what's in store. And one of the things that is incredibly exciting about this week is we also will be having on Friday our Women in Leadership Seminar Series, continuing with one of my favorite leaders at Integrity, Miss Maggie Fleming, who is managing partner at Nyschloss & Fleming. She'll be sharing some of her experiences about growing up in the insurance industry and her defining path of becoming such an incredible leader. In fact, the entire Women in Leadership series idea started when we had an Inspire podcast with Maggie Fleming on that. And so I'm thrilled for everyone to learn from Maggie, who is just an incredible leader. Maggie and her husband, Tom Fleming, were among the first partners that joined Integrity. I remember meeting with them in Pittsburgh, talking about what we were trying to create. It was truly just a vision at that moment, but they jumped on board and said, look, we want to help you build this airplane together, and we're going to take off to new heights. And it was incredible. But you guys have so much to learn. I can't wait to learn from Maggie. Maggie's mom, speaking of women in leadership, Maggie's mom, Alice, started Nyschloss & Fleming, and then her husband, Eric Nyschloss, joined her back in the 80s, and then Maggie and Tom taking the reins in the 2000s and just taking it to new heights. And now, as a partner here at Integrity, just an incredible partnership. And I was lucky enough to be at their office in December, seeing Bill Correa and Jill Henderson, all the incredible leaders there, as well as Tom and Maggie. And I can't wait for you guys to, again, learn from one of the best in the industry. So make sure everybody tunes into that on Friday. Well, at Integrity, man, I think we sometimes become numb to the amount of announcements that we do here at Integrity. It is not normal to have so many partnerships that have been announced and so many industry icons that have joined forces to come together to better serve more people. And I can say that through 2020 and 2021, we just had so many incredible announcements with so many icons that have joined the Integrity family, especially in the life and health space and the annuity space. But today, we have one of the biggest announcements that we have ever had. In fact, as news started leaking out about this new partnership, I started getting calls out of the blue from incredible insurance leaders and industry leaders that some were competitors, some were insurance carriers that said, hey, I heard about this. Is this true that you guys are entering into this new space and doing it with the industry leader, coming together? And so this is an incredibly exciting day for us to announce that Lion Street has joined the Integrity family. Now, as part of this, Bob Carter, the founder and CEO of Lion Street, will be joining us as a managing partner, but also Jim Cahill, their president, who's also an incredible leader, will be joining us as a managing partner. Now, some of you may not have heard of Lion Street, but Lion Street was founded in 2010, headquartered in Austin, Texas, and currently has over $15 billion of assets that they manage. They also sell over $150 million of target life premium annually and serve over 1,000 financial professionals serving the higher net worth clientele really in America to make sure that they have the most adequate and best coverage possible. Now, there's over 100 employees at their headquarters in Austin, and it's one of the most exciting partnerships that we have ever really partnered with. Now, this brings us at Integrity into kind of a new category of high net worth clientele, this business owner type clientele that need more sophisticated solutions to make sure that their insurance coverage is taken care of. And these financial planning solutions, as we've been talking about, this connection between health and wealth coming together in a big way, and this is one of those opportunities for us that we're able to really serve even more Americans. Now that they're joining Integrity, Lion Street can tap into our world-class resources and all of the technology and solutions that we've been partnering with and developing. And I am so excited for you all to meet one of the biggest industry icons in the life insurance industry, Bob Carter and Jim Cahill, today, and learn more about what this partnership means to Integrity. So, Bob and Jim, congratulations. We are honored to have you now as partners at Integrity. And this has been one of those days, this has been a long time coming. This is a complex partnership transaction, but we are finally here. And so congratulations, guys.
Well, thanks, Brian. This is Bob. We're honored by all the things you said about us. I think an icon is just another word for being old and hanging around a long time. But thank you for those words. Did you want me to give you the background of Lion Street? Or?
Yeah, if you don't mind. So part of the idea of Inspire was for all of the partners, all the employees of Integrity to come together and learn from the best in the industry. And part of this is just kind of learning about the background, about the businesses that we partner with, learn a little bit more about what this means before an announcement happens, but also just to learn so we can gain insight so that we can all continue to benefit and grow even faster. And so I would love, as we understand what Lion Street now brings Integrity, there's a lot of partnerships that we know that, Integrity is going to bring a lot of benefits to them. What you all bring to Integrity is incredibly exciting. So I would love for you to give us an overview of kind of your background, kind of how you started, because this is such an incredible story. But also about Line Street, if you don't mind. That'd be awesome.
You bet. I'm a lifer in the life insurance business, started selling it right when I came out of school, and about 10 years into it, moved into the wholesale end of it, and started a producer group, which was our way of talking about bringing together some owners that all owned a part of the deal that were selling life insurance in different markets around the U.S. and putting them in a ring where they could learn from each other. We could build technology for them, et cetera, et cetera. And that was Partners Financial, and we grew that into a couple of hundred firms that we were partners with. They own part of Partners Financial, and we really used that as a springboard in 1999 to start a company called NFP, or National Financial Partners, which really, Brian, had a bit of the integrity model that it was time to let people capitalize on some of the incredible businesses that they had built and go to the next level. And so we did that, took the company public in 2003, and by 2008, I'd become a little bit thought the company was going out of the life insurance business as it was into benefits and property and casualty. And so I took a 2.5-year non-compete and set out. And at that time, in 2010, said, look, this is what did I enjoy doing. Anything more in life is hanging around big life insurance producers and helping us all be better. And so I went to a private equity firm, took some capital, also took more capital from our owners of Lion Street that they put in, hard-earned after-tax money. And we took that and basically over 11 years built the company that Integrity acquired, which is Lion Street, as you guys know it today, close to 200 owner firms spread out across the country, each of them in different niche markets, but mostly serving high net worth and corporate. And it was a tremendous validation for them, what we started out to do at Lion Street. And, we couldn't be more excited about the future. It was 10, 11 years of hard work, but that really just got us to the springboard for what we think can even be a better organization as part of the Integrity family.
Well, listen, I know you're incredibly humble, but starting National Financial Partners, or NFP, for those of you who aren't familiar with NFP was really the original kind of business that went out and partnered with great firms in a similar manner. Well, we've done it in Integrity. I think we've learned a lot of what not to do in certain scenarios, like you've said, about really staying focused on our core mission and our core goals and not kind of drifting from that. But what the business at NFP created and you created at NFP is just an amazing business. But you took that industry experience and that knowledge and what you had really gained from that and created something even better with Line Street. And so now having all of these agency owners coming together and what you had built there, whenever we had the opportunity to sit down, it was one of those humbling moments that I remember sitting in our boardroom the first time we'd ever sat down, and it was, I think there's a quote that says, "A fisherman always knows another fisherman from afar." And it was that moment of going, oh my gosh, this is like a kindred spirit. We have to figure out how to partner together. And so, Bob, I just cannot tell you how excited we are to be your partner, especially bringing somebody in with your deep industry knowledge and experience. This is going to be one of those things that I think just catapults us into continuing to serve people better overall, as we take that knowledge and experience even to the next level. And so thank you very much for this opportunity to partner with you. I can't wait to learn from you personally, and certainly with Jim Cahill as part of this as well. This dynamic duo that you guys have is incredibly exciting. So thank you very much for joining us on this. Now, Jim, I also want to make sure that people understand kind of the background of how you came to join Bob and really kind of how you guys have taken this to the next level, because this is a massive, massive organization, one of the largest in the industry by any metrics. And what you guys are, I think, just beginning to build. You guys have built something massive, but what we're just beginning to build here is going to be truly remarkable.
Yeah, Brian, thanks. It's a big day for all of us here at Line Street. And just a little bit of background about myself. I came on around 2013, have more of a technology business background and also a lot of transactional experience. And Bob and I decided
and you're a lawyer.
And I'm a lawyer. You weren't supposed to tell anybody about that.
Yeah.
Recovering lawyer.
Right. But Bob and I decided to challenge everything we knew about life insurance and technology, and that's how we work well together. And We stuck to the premise that we are the firm behind the firm. Our motto here at Line Street is that our producer owners are first. We put them first, and we help them succeed every day in every way we can. We take off of the producers anything that they don't feel like they're comfortable doing or want to do from an underwriting or advanced sales or operational needs. And this all started with Bob's vision, which was that elite, sophisticated financial professionals want to be part of a network of like-minded peers. And we feel like we're gaining that with the Integrity transaction, that Line Street is joining a network of like-minded peers. Our approach also allows us a huge collective buying power from carriers, and that is something that we're really looking forward to building on with Integrity's contacts. Again, just a great day for us at Line Street.
That is incredibly exciting. Now, I love what you just said. We're the firm behind the firm, right? Some people, people joke about this sometimes. They say, Integrity is the largest company no one's ever heard of. And part of that is because, we've always kind of been the firm behind the firms in a lot of different ways. I love kind of that passion what you guys have. And I really think that what you just said there, Jim, about how, especially when you're working with higher net worth individuals and more complex, sophisticated estate planning and business planning type insurance needs, you need to have someone there as a network to collaborate, look at ways to better serve each other, come up with the best ideas. And that is something I think has been really an incredible part of what got me excited about partnering with you guys, because as we look at ways that our partners come across people who are business owners or people who are doctors and lawyers that have more sophisticated needs, now we have the premier network, the leading network in the industry that we can refer to. But what would you guys say is your secret sauce? What, at Line Street, what has been the secret sauce to create such an amazing business that you guys have created, Bob?
Well, I think this will, again, ties well into Integrity. From the very beginning, we talked about the co-ownership of the enterprise, and we did not want to be the general agent or the broker for these firms, but that we wanted them to be our business partner. And that just cut all the way through discussions about commissions and support and everything like that. If you could have those discussions as business partners and not just being a part of someone's hierarchy. So I think that was our secret sauce. And then the other part of it was just sheer execution. A lot of people have a good idea, but we're so fortunate to put an incredible team together early. We had Royce Imhoff, who had a very senior role at AIG in Houston, had a tremendous following of producers. He came over. James Joyce, an up-and-coming bright young student of the game that had worked for me at NFP. And we looked up one day about 3 years into it, just had an incredible group of, at that time, 13 or 14 people that supported producers. And, again, we tried to get the producers and the firms to treat them as fellow owners, not as just somebody to do their bidding, when they called for a proposal. So I think that's what it's continued to go back to. And I think the other thing that we've done is I'm not sure if this is PG-13 or call or not, but keep the people out of we only have the good guys in the group, the good people in the group. Yeah. And we certainly have been tempted at times to recruit people that could have brought a lot of production, but they didn't bring the cultural fit. I said, hey, I'm about sharing. We have a very unique meeting every September that we started out without giving the whole story behind it, but the name of it is, rather than a conference or symposium or whatever, is Ndaba, which is a African word that basically means when the tribal elders come together, sit around the fire, and sort out what's best for the community. So I think it's that continued involvement with these owners that produce that $150 million of premium and treating them like business partners that really made the difference in how we were able to grow faster than some competitors who, didn't want to share the pie.
Yeah, I would add on there that, just not bragging on ourselves, but we have an incredible team here, as Bob mentioned. But, the 5 original employees of the company are still with the company today. We've had very low turnover. Our annual average tenure is just off the charts for the industry. And so not only have we been able to attract great people, we've been able to retain them and give them career paths here at Line Street, all through a employee ownership plan similar to Integrity's that we have here in place at Line Street. So again, just another cylinder that we were hitting on with integrity as far as the co-ownership model goes.
You know, I think what you guys have done is something that's just so unique. Man, I think I mean, Bob, kind of speaking to that culture part of it, and really that partnership. Whenever you're a partnership, you can create kind of this culture that you can have more direct conversations, more honest conversations, more inspiring conversations in a lot of ways that you can't otherwise. And that's been one of the things that integrity, culture has meant more to us than I think pretty much anything that we've got here is really this idea of living by core values, living by mission and purpose, living with this idea that we all want to come together, and rising tide will truly raise all boats, and that we can all accomplish more together. And one of our partners, AC Chapman, we used to call it, something that wasn't PG-13, but now we call it the campfire test, where you got to find people who are like-minded, that get culture first, that come together with the spirit of partnership and want to sit around and have a beer together with, or you don't mind introducing your family to, around the campfire, and you want to spend time with them because you know that they're going to do the right thing. I was asked to go to a dinner this last week with one of the top CEOs of Wall Street Bank, and he brought together I think there were 6 CEOs including myself, of big companies here in Dallas. And he came in from New York, and they reached out and said, we'd like for you to join us, which was kind of intimidating in some ways, but we went to have dinner. And one of the things that he asked us all to do is kind of go around and explain our companies and kind of what we thought set us apart. And when it came to me, I talked about our culture and talked about our focus on culture and that we were employee-owned. And they asked me to elaborate on that. And so I'm sitting there looking at 5 other CEOs from Dallas, these are big companies here in Dallas that a lot of people would know. And I'm looking at CEO of this major bank in New York. And I'm talking about our employee ownership plan. And one of the CEOs said, but that means you have to give something up. Like, you had to give up stock to do that. Like, why would you ever do that? And so I started talking about our results, and I started talking about you're not really giving anything up, you're sharing. And you have to see the pie as this kind of greater opportunity of all of us coming together, and you can create a much bigger pie by being together and everybody focused on this one thing. And by doing that, you can also have more direct conversations and looking at new opportunities. And it was interesting that I've gotten several emails from some of those CEOs after that meeting saying, I want to learn more because I don't know if I can convince our shareholders to give up any of their shares. But what you guys have built is truly remarkable, and it's truly all about culture, and we forget about that. And that's where, even in what they call the great resignation right now and all these different things, like, people have to remember that this is a people business first. And culture matters more than anything. That's where I think we are so aligned. And whenever we first started getting together there and meeting, you mentioned James Joyce and some of the leaders you all have, Burmeister and others. I mean, like, these are incredible leaders that you just want to learn from, and you want to be part of something bigger together. So tell me a little bit more, Bob, about your decision about today, of why you wanted to join Integrity and what you're so excited about going forward.
Yeah, we looked at a lot of options just to recapitalize the company and take us forward, and debt and private equity. But I think it was, without being redundant, it was the same viewpoint of culture and the same viewpoint that scale really matters. And I think you put those two things together, and it was just enough of a perfect alignment. We kind of quit looking after we met you guys and just started trying to get the deal across the finish line, as you know.
Yeah, I would add on, Bob, that, we had reached a level where we think we can get, with the resources that Integrity brings and some of the technology and carrier contracts, we can just exponentially grow and reach new heights that we certainly could do on our own, but with Integrity, we're going to be able to expedite that process.
Yeah, this is going to be an incredible opportunity. I know, listen, I think a lot of our partners will benefit from learning from you guys as well. Now, you can't talk the two of you guys without talking about your favorite hobby. In fact, this is maybe one of my favorite videos that we've ever done. We had the chance to go out and play golf with Steve Young and Jerry Rice out at Pebble Beach as part of this. And, man, I tell you, like, I don't know if you could have had a video come together in a better way than this one. It's like it needed to be on the Golf Channel. But tell us, Bob, I know you have a true belief that golf and business really have this kind of harmonious relationship. I'd love for you to share a little bit more about that with this team.
Well, I tried to tell my wife when we got married 5 years ago was my only vice, but she figured out right away I had more than that. But as you do get older, and I played basketball and everything like that. I was in my middle 50s, and it is the place that you can still go out, hit a shot, and it can be just as good as anybody else's shot. But so many of our firms, not all of them, but that's how they've built their books of business, as being members of good clubs and meet with people. But I think what I've always found is that you get out there in 4 hours, you got someone, how they, the ones that cut corners. You realize if you've asked them 20 questions about them and they've never asked you a question about yourself, that this just isn't a person you want to go to the 19th hole with. So that's just I love being outdoors, and you can't combine anything better than competition, being outdoors, and with people. Of course, if it weren't for the the gambling, the drinking, the cigar smoking, and all that, I'm not sure I'd play golf. But when you put it all together, it's a pretty good sport.
Well, you're going to have to credit this deal to golf, Brian, because that's how Bob Carter and I met each other probably 15 years ago, and we forged a friendship before we went into business together and learned some things about each other and what character meant and respect meant. So we forged a friendship before we even had a business relationship, which proved real dividends when we started getting this company into high gear and expansion mode. So golf was our first true love, and then Line Street became our second true love. So
when I realized I couldn't negotiate any more than 3 aside from Jim, I knew this is the guy I want negotiating for Line Street.
There you go. This guy needs to be on your team, that's for sure. Look, I think spending that day with you guys at Pebble really is one of those things that everybody should have the opportunity to be able to just share in, because it was such an incredible day. And what people, I don't think this came across in the video very well, because it was one of those moments that you just can't replicate. But you had, I don't know how long, maybe a 30-foot putt, Bob, and you had Jerry Rice sitting there kind of heckling you, standing over your shoulder, and you drained it like a boss. And the GOAT, the greatest of all time, I think, of football players. And listen, we saw some great football this weekend. But the GOAT, Jerry Rice, ended up sending me a hat that said GOAT to Bob Carter. And after that putt, which was so much fun seeing all of that come together. But, man, talk about nerves of steel of how you put that together. That had to be just one of the highlights of that trip for sure.
It was. It was actually about 12 feet, which has grown to 30 feet over time. And Jerry actually
it'll be 60 feet next time I tell. But yeah, go ahead.
Jerry actually misread the putt, and my caddy came over and overrode him. So it was funny.
Yeah. Oh man, that was such an incredible thing. We've got this young guy that works with us at a company called Savers Marketing that I just want to brag on, just because tie in the golf story here. It's a guy named Christian Cease, which he just became the #1 amateur in South Carolina. He was playing in the, I think it's like World Amateur Tour. It had 5,300 amateur golfers that were competing for this. And I may miss some of the story, but they were in Nantucket, and he's leading the tournament. And he called a penalty on himself because it was the right thing to do. And he ended up losing that tournament. But, man, those are guys that will always win in life, because he called a penalty on himself that no one else saw. But because of that, he lost the tournament. He would have been the #1 amateur in the world. However, in my mind, and this is one of those guys you sit back and you just go, I want to be like, those are guys you want on your team every day. And so now he works with Savers Marketing, Brad Campbell, and I got a chance to meet him in December while we were traveling around the country about this employee ownership, this partner ownership, this idea of all of us coming together. You sit back and some of those lessons that you talk about are ones that I think we're seeing lived out in young guys like Christian that, I know will go far with James Joyce and Christian and others kind of going forward. Now, we also had the opportunity to have Tom Sheath and Ryan Kimball come out with us. You guys got a chance to get to know them. And so they wanted to hop on and be the first partners to welcome you guys to the Integrity family. Tom, are you there, man?
Hey, good morning, Brian. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you great, buddy.
Hey,
Finally
good morning, Bob
and
Jim.
Finally got it done.
Oh, I was going to say, when we first got a chance to meet you back at Pebble back in early November, what we discussed is we were walking around the beautiful course we just got to get this thing over the finish line. And, I will say that was my first time playing Pebble, and such a beautiful, iconic course. But the one thing I remember more than anything is Jerry Rice in your ear, Bob, as you hammered. I think, Brian, it was at least 40-foot putt. I think it was 40 foot before break. And he just drained it, and Jerry Rice he just couldn't believe that. Bob was so cool, calm, and collected that he just hammered it. But it was a great day. And, gentlemen, when you spend, 4 hours, walking around the course with people, you truly understand who they are. And, guys, you guys have built such a tremendous business. But yet, as Brian said, you're very humble. And being humble leaders out here, it's amazing what can be created out here and such. But so very proud to call both of you partners today, and truly is a special day. And like I said in the course, once we get this past the finish line, we got to get you guys up here in Nebraska. I got a special course, Caprock Ranch. Love to get you out, play a couple rounds, and really celebrate this day, gentlemen.
Well, thanks, Tom. You were a big part of telling the story that, made us want to push hard to do this. It was a great time out there.
Absolutely.
A lot of fun.
We
also
welcome
have
to
Ryan
Nebraska.
Kimball.
I go everywhere I'm invited.
There you go.
Well, it's too cold up here right now, so gotta wait till it gets a little bit warmer.
Oh, that's funny. Ryan, are you there with us, man?
Hey, Brian, I'm here. Bob and Jim, guys, it is my honor to welcome you guys to the team. Our time we spent out in California was fantastic. And Bob, you unfortunately taught me how to play gin, which turned into a lot of evenings with my family trying to coax them into playing gin with me. So
hey, let's be clear. Let's be clear. Bob and I lost $14 for you, and so I, as a true man of his word, he paid off the bet. I think I told you, Bob, I paid him in pennies, so it was like 10 pounds worth of pennies. But it was quite the. I don't know what you're doing with all those pennies there, Ryan, but that was fun.
They're adding up. But guys, listen, I know what you'll find in Integrity and all the partners you'll get a chance to meet is an incredible group of people that are all completely aligned in making this better for everybody and helping our end customers out. It's been an amazing experience for me, and I love it more and more every day. And hearing about this call this morning put a big grin on my face. So super happy for you guys, extremely happy for the Integrity team and platform of what you're going to bring. So congratulations, and, man, we're all on the same team now. So ready to help out any way we can.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Really appreciate it.
I need to polish up my gin game apparently, so thanks for inspiring me.
No, it's because you had me as a partner. Because of me here, but I need another lesson, I think. We need to figure that out. Ryan, I saw you were at the game yesterday, Tampa Bay Rams game. What a heartbreaker that was, I got to tell you. Speaking of goats, I don't know if that's the last game or not, but, man, he almost pulled it off.
Well, just real quick, one lesson from that Tampa Bay game is never leave with less than 3 minutes to go and down 2 touchdowns. So it's a regret I have it to this. I left, but I was able to watch on the Jumbotron. And then trying to get back in the stadium with 40 seconds left was hard to do. But fantastic game and a great group of games yesterday.
So my wife and I last night, my wife had gone out with some friends. She came home. I'm watching the Kansas City Buffalo Bills game, and there's like 3 minutes left. And I'm like, she's like, wanting to watch something else. I'm like, Robin, I got to watch, let me finish this game. So First of all, it was the best game I've ever seen in my life. Talking about lead changes, there was like 20-something points scored at minute 54 left or whatever. That was never leave with 13 seconds left. Because, man, Patrick Mahomes with 13 seconds was pretty impressive as well. So there was just some incredible football played yesterday by some amazing quarterbacks. So that was a lot of fun, and this is going to be an interesting week kind of going forward, I think, as well. Well, Jim and Bob, I just want to tell you again, thank you so much for being our partner. For the insurance industry, I mean, this is bringing in legendary, greatest of all time type partners together, and we are so proud to have you as our partner. And can't wait to get this announcement out tomorrow. This is going to be a huge industry announcement for the life insurance market, also in the wealth management space. And so make sure that you like and share this type of announcement when it goes out, and can't wait to do that. So, again, Jim and Bob, thank you so much for partnering with us. Can't wait to see where we go from here, and can't wait for the next game for us to all play together.
Great. Thank you, Brian. Thanks again.
Again, we've got some incredible things happening here at Integrity. Off to an incredible start for 2022. Truly believe that this is going to be one of the best years ever going forward, and adding partners like Lion Street is just the beginning here. So congratulations again to Bob Carter, Jim Cahill, James Joyce, and all the incredible partners at Lion Street. We can't tell you how excited we are to be your partner here at Integrity. Again, please make sure you like and share this information as it goes out on social media and everywhere else, because this is a huge day for everybody here at Integrity. Congratulations again. We'll talk to you all soon. Hope everybody has an amazing week. God bless you all. Take care.